2 wins from 5 for Ruben Amorim. He said it's a long journey ahead, which it will be, because he's still getting to know this team and still getting to know his players. What do you think he can achieve with this club this season, with this set of players? Because he does say it's a long journey and it feels like there's still a lot of work that needs to go on.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I would say is he's a great communicator. He's a great talker, and that's even off the back of a loss. So I think it was interesting, he said, we tried, but without much quality. You know, that's a pretty big statement also from the manager. So it's going to take some time to figure it out. But the thing I like is he's really open, he's really honest, and I think he's quite critical when he needs to be. So he realises they got to up the standards. But what are they, 12th, 13th? 13th. I mean, the dream was probably to get to Europe, but that's looking pretty unlikely. They need to go on a little run here. Obviously, City next, that's...
With Europe in between as well.
Yeah, but they'll win the game in Europe. You know, that shouldn't really be an issue. But then obviously City. So I think the fixtures-wise, you know, the Bournemouth, with Bournemouth Wolves coming up, you know, they are winnable ones, but they need to find a way to get a few more wins and climb up that league table.
They certainly do. And he also spoke about the poor starts to both halves.
Yeah.
So let's take it right back to the beginning. And in 1 minute 91 seconds, they were already behind.
Yeah,
1 minute 31, sorry, my maths is terrible.
Yeah, and you know, you can never come into leave the game too early. I mean, you see here, you have to be dominant. You know, set pieces, you always want to try and make first contact. And you see here, the setup's quite good. You see, and it's just a little bit of movement, and it's just not strong enough.
Well, the thing is, there's only 3 of them marking, Jermaine.
Yeah.
He's meant to mark Milinkovic, but obviously we saw him walking up. He's massive. You know, he looked like an American football player, and he was just too big and too strong for Martinez.
For Martinez, even then, he didn't even jump, and he couldn't jump, to be honest, because I think when he just held him there, you know, it was just not strong enough.
Yeah, and to go behind so quickly in the game, you're already, you know, struggling from the start. But then Rasmus Højlund took it to 1-1, and you noticed that Bruno Fernandes was really important in the build-up.
Yeah, it's really nice, actually. You know, it's a really nice little layoff, bit of patience, and really good football. Obviously, Garnacho was a little bit unlucky, good save from himself, but Højlund's there, and that's the thing. You know, this is Bruno in that, you know, number 10 position. He comes to the ball, he's saying, and he says to De Ligt after, pass me the ball. You know, he's demanding it. So as it recycles, he's waiting for that moment. It's really interesting, watch him. He drops off a couple of yards in behind because he's trying to create that space, and then he creates the moment. That little triangle between De Ligt, Fernandes and Ugarte, a little set is perfect, and then they're off. And that's what Amorim wants. He wants to create these little triangles all across the pitch. Really good football, but it was instrumented by Bruno Fernandes. He was almost coaching out there on the pitch, saying, De Ligt, you got to play the ball in the right time, and the weight of it was perfect. We'll see on another goal where they try the same thing and they get it wrong.
How important is Bruno in this setup for Man United in terms of what they can achieve this season?
Well, Jermaine, I was amazed he went off. You know, he created that goal, and then, you know, scored another, and for some reason, the crucial part of the game, when you need a goal, you take him off. If anything, he's the guy right now. Him and Ahmad are the two where you'd say
keep him on.
They're gonna create you something. So I'm guessing he'll probably regret that, because I thought Bruno was the one guy that was, everything was running through him.
I think everything goes through him, and even with the goal there, Højlund's goal, you can see that he's coaching it. So he's coaching it, and that must be massive for a manager. That's why when he come off, we were a little bit surprised. I was like, why is he taking him off? Couldn't understand why he came off.
Interesting decision there. Okay, and then early in the second half, again, it's the story continuing where they concede.
That can strike a football, they can hit it both ways. They can hit it with spin that way, or they can cut across it and it goes into the other corner. I think the spin actually is just done on a little bit. He still probably should save it. But again, that we saw on the build-up, the way they were trying to build up. Euro, Fernandes, they probably didn't understand the distances.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then again, when you make mistakes against teams like Nottingham Forest, you're going to get punished.
What kind of skill level does it take to put that much spin on a ball like that?
I think, in situations like that, we're talking about it like I think you just got to hit the target, but it's practice. You know, players do it in training. You know, they're trying. Owen was amazing at it. You know, try and get that sort of like dip on the ball. You know, when you hit the middle of the ball, but when you watch it, you still think, God, he could have done better. But I understand that it moves towards the end, and you know, he's sort of like leaning that way because you expect it to go this way. You know, naturally the ball goes the other way, but then you still look at it and think, he gets a hand to it, so that's why probably I'm thinking maybe he could have done a little bit more.
But his weight's already going this way, he thinks it's going there, and then the spin does him at the end, so, and it's just like, I think when he sees it back, he'll probably think, I made my mind up too soon.
Yeah.
If he was set, then he probably would have said, I think he just got shifted there. And once your balance is there, you can't get back.
Well, we saw Chris Wood's goal to take it to 3-1. Let's have a look at Bruno's goal. So this takes it to 3-2. His first goal of the Ruben Amorim era. What did we make of this one, though?
Oh, watch this ball. Bruno, stop it. Great little switch outside. And Ahmad, you love watching Ahmad play. He just gets after people. What a chop that is. And Bruno just sits into his little pocket. But we're going to see it from this angle, Seema. It's so interesting. There's so much detail in this. And this is how smart Bruno is. Jermaine, it's really interesting, isn't it? He's like, he realises, I can't get it here, and I got to create an angle from him. Keep moving, Seema. And it's brilliant. Keeps moving. Great way to pass.
The way to pass,
Ahmad. That's a fabulous goal.
I think there's just so much in this goal. I think initially the pass from Bruno, the quality to do that, I think he's probably the only one in the team that could do that. And then to have the sort of like football intelligence to know that actually everyone's running back towards their own goal. You saw Rashford sort of like running in beyond, and Bruno sort of like just hangs back a little bit. And then obviously the way to pass, but then the finish at the end of it is brilliant.
It was beautiful, wasn't it? Well, look, there you can see the Premier League table. Manchester United are 13th in the table, 19 points from their opening 15 games. I just wonder now, as we look ahead, of course, you mentioned they have the derby, Manchester derby coming up next weekend, and obviously every game is now important, isn't it? Especially if they want to climb further up the table. We talked about team selection at the start. He made 6 changes for the Arsenal game. He made another 4 changes today. Do you think he's any closer to finding his best 11? Or are you expecting more changes to still come?
Probably not yet. I was surprised Mazraoui didn't play. I think he's been Man United's best player this season. But he probably wanted to maybe give somebody else an opportunity. Obviously, Luke Shaw, he came back and now he's back out. So he hasn't been able to find a settled team. I do think his team, in the end, will be Mazraoui, Euro, Martinez. I think that would be his back 3. Obviously, Mainu was back in there, but he hasn't had a settled back 3. He hasn't had a settled midfield 2. And at the top of the pitch, he's rotating. I think he's trying to find who's going to fit in this formation.
You don't think Rashford will get in the team?
I think he's an option, but none of the boys at the top of the pitch are undroppable, outside of Ahmad, maybe. He's playing as a wingback.
I think the manager's probably just desperate for players to perform. Then it makes it easier for a manager to pick the team. When players ain't performing, and you end up just changing it all the time because you're just so desperate for these performances, but they're just not coming.
And there is no easy game. I mean, there's never an easy game in the Premier League, but look at who they've got to come. They've got a derby against Manchester City. They've got Spurs, who are fighting for top 4 as well. Bournemouth are playing so well this season. OK, Wolves might be a slightly easier fixture on paper, but then, Liverpool and Arsenal to come later on, Brighton as well. The games are really coming thick and fast over this period up until January.
If you play for Manchester United, no matter who's on those fixtures, you should be able to beat everyone. End of. That's why you go there. It's to win trophies, to be the best. So obviously they're not right now 13th. I could have never imagined after 15 games they'd be 13th.
And also saying that they're hoping to climb above Forest in the Premier League table should they win today. You just wouldn't think it, would you?
Well, it was interesting he used the word team, Amorim, before the game.
Yeah.
He said that, they need to play more as a team. United, they've got a lot of great individuals. They've got to put it together as a team. That's the only way they're going to climb up that league table. OK,
let's head straight back. Well, there's such a positive feeling about Nottingham Forest at the moment. Obviously, when you're winning, that happens. But credit to the manager. How much do you rate him, Jermaine?
A lot. I think you have to give him credit. 5th in the league. We spoke about, beginning of the season. Really exciting team to watch. They've got good players. They've got so many good individuals. They've got a way of playing. Don't really change the team too much, does he? So players, it's so important to have that sort of rhythm. But they've been brilliant. They deserve so much credit.
First manager since Frank Clark for Nottingham Forest to win at Old Trafford.
Yeah, good team, good manager. I think Jermaine makes a good point. They don't really change the team all the time. You look at your teams that are successful, they pretty much play the same players. Liverpool are doing it, Arsenal are doing it. Man United, you couldn't pick their best team right now. It changes all the time. So they have a bit of consistency there. But it's quite a story, really. And the thing is, from the squad that they had a couple of years ago to what they have now, they do not have a bad player in the starting 11. They've done a really good job with the recruitment. It starts with the keeper and the defence, but at the top of the pitch, they've got difference makers. And they're just a really good football side right now.
They are, aren't they? Just final thoughts now on Manchester United. Of course, Ruben Amorim now has a few days before Europe to work with this place. What's his priority, Jermaine? What's he going to be doing?
I can imagine there'll be a lot of information for the players that you have to take on board. At this level, you have to take all the information on board. For a new coach that comes in, it's not easy. It takes time. I mean, the ideal situation is to, I suppose, go into a job pre-season where you can have a pre-season tour, have games, work for 6 or 7 weeks, and then the season starts and you've got time. But, once you come in at this stage of the season, it's not easy.
It's not easy at all, certainly in the Premier League. Well, Jermaine, thank you for your thoughts. Thank you for your company as well, Owen. And thank you for yours. And we will see you on Sunday for more Premier League action. Goodbye.
What a game today. Manchester United vs Nottingham Forest. Wow, that is an interesting match. Well, I didn't even believe that Man U will lose the game. But I know that Nottingham Forest is not a walkover team. They are playing well. In that match, Man U started, within 2 minutes, Man U conceded. After Man U conceded, they started playing well, dominate the game, control the game. They equalized. Holland scored. They equalized. It became 1-1. Second half, White scored. It became 2-1. Nottingham Forest scored again by Wood. It became 3-1. Then I believe that game is over. Man U tried in 50-something minutes, I think 54 minutes, come back and score. It become 3-2. Man U still have the chance to equalize. Just that I believe in the game they hit bar, I think 1 or 2 times. So they had a bit of bad luck in the game, but it's not enough excuse to lose the game. But Nottingham Forest played well. They really played well. So Man U, they are, well, is gradually process. Like I said in last video, when you are building a team and you are winning, it becomes easier to going forward. The momentum, everything is going well. In the process of building the team and you also winning, and now Man U is on 12, I've been at 13 position right now, whereby Nottingham Forest have gone up around 50. So in short, Man U is lacking, I don't know what to say, maybe belief or what. They're supposed to believe that man. The coach, Amorim, is a nice coach. But it's like you don't have the correct tools to continue the process. But I believe in January they will add 1 or 2 to refresh the team going forward. But like I said before, they need to win games. They need to win some games. They need to do some things, win some games. Because in this kind of process, as the league is right now, one dropping 3 points is not even good at all, because to you to get back where you are right now, it will be difficult. Because from I think from 13 to 6, there is no much difference. There is no much difference. The game, the points gaps is very tight. So you dropping points in a smaller team is a big problem. Because if he cannot win a small team, is he a big team he will win? So I believe that Man U, they need to wake up. They need to wake up, because there is no time. He will say just 14 matches, but 14 matches now is a lot. So Man U have to wake up and sit up. There is no time. There is no time.